Everyone, it's Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com and PickDogs.com, and it is Friday, May 15th, 2020, here with your live show. Of course, we're here live 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and really excited to be here every single day for you guys and with you guys. And we know not a ton going on in sports, but as you have seen over the weeks, we've definitely upgraded our production, and we were using our time wisely. I'm really excited about our premium area, our new premium area that we have. I know the premium area is not for everyone. I certainly will never do the hard sell on selling picks or anything like that. It's not for everyone. For those that do buy picks, really, really good stuff going on with the premium area. I've been in touch with all the handicappers out there as well, locking them in, making sure that we have a good variety for everybody. And I think that's what it's all about. It's finding someone. It's like if I'm not hot, someone else is hot. And anyways, just real excited about that. But I'll tell you one thing. I just think that. Like I said, using this time wisely, the most important thing. You can see I've built a new studio. It's not nearly done. Last Monday we did a studio tour, and hopefully not this coming Monday, but probably the Monday after that, we'll do a follow-up one, as I know a lot of my equipment that I've ordered is starting to come in. You guys know the last week I've had this microphone in front of me, that has basically been in my face like this, and it sounds great. I mean, this is the Rode Procaster is what they call it. Hey, there it is. There's my autofocus. How about that for camera upgrade? The Rode Procaster is a really nice microphone, but the thing is that you got to be really close to it. It's a podcasting microphone, and now I have an overhead microphone, so you can hear my sound is still really good, but no more microphone in my face, which I know some of you. Sorry, too bad about your luck, but. Yeah, you could Google this stuff. It's out there. This is not like a well-guarded secret how to get, audio and video equipment. Go to, there's about 50 stores that sell them. You can find out what they are. Generally, a good microphone, an XLR microphone like this, is about $350, something like that. But anyways, we did a studio tour, so you can see exactly the equipment that we're using, and we'll continue to do it again. But good morning to everyone that's joining us. We have the Bundesliga kicking off tomorrow. Super exciting things. We're going to do our Bundesliga picks today because the games are because of the time differentials. Chris wants to do them today, and that's fine. Chris is covering Bundesliga over at Pick Dogs. Goran is covering Bundesliga over at Sports Chat, so you can get both their opinions at our sites. We have sim picks again for you, and we're just going to talk about some general sports news. And I was hoping that by today we would have some awesome sports news, but we really don't have anything as far as updates. And maybe that's a good thing, because maybe the talks are going on behind the scenes, out of the news, and that's where maybe the most progress is going to be made in those areas. But anyways, without further ado, bring in the eye candy portion of the show. Chris Ruffalo, good morning. How are you? Oh, it would help if I brought your sound up. Here you go. Good morning, Chris.
That's all right. Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. I put these guys. I went to those of you guys that saw the show the other day. Let me see if I have it. Oh boy, I don't even have this camera plugged in to even show you guys. I thought I did. Is this one plugged in? Yeah, it should be. FaceTime. I don't know. For some reason it's not showing up, but I'll show you guys exactly what just happened there with the sound. Always more fun to show. Let's see. And there we go. So basically I have this soundboard here, and this is the Puck Dogs, are these. So when I don't want to hear, when I'm talking at the beginning and we don't want to hear Chris and Steve and Rod, we just do this, and then we say, welcome to our show, and we just slide it up here. Yes, things are getting pretty fancy over here at things. And anyways, Go back to where we were. Anyways, it's nice that we're at this point in things and we can do this sort of stuff. Anyways, we'll try this again. We'll bring in the eye candy portion of our show. Chris Ruffalo, the Puck Dog. Chris, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. And, I played 36 holes yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty good. And I got to say, the last 9 holes, I was 1 over par, and that was at the Pook, at Pukalani. And that is a tough course on the Kikuyu grass. If you shoot 37 on the back at Pukalani, you're playing some golf. And they have this one par 3. It's got to be 200 yards straight uphill, and I hit a 4-iron in there and just stuck it like 3 feet from the pin. It was just one of those days, It was happening. The front 9 was a throwout. I just couldn't hit a putt, couldn't hit anything, and But after that, it was like game on. It was really some of the best golf I've played in a while. But anyways, I could talk about that stuff. But what we're here to talk about is Bundesliga. And, for me, I was looking at the original, I don't follow. I ran Sports Shop Place. I own it, I ran it for 13 years at this point, except for a brief hiatus last fall. And, Pick Dogs, we started last fall as well. So it's not like I've never seen Bundesliga before, or we've never talked Bundesliga at any of our sites or any of these things of that nature. But, one of the things that, we know is that there's a few teams in that Bundesliga that are super popular. These are the guys that kind of carry the torch. And for me, the ones that I've seen carry the torch over the years, and I don't know if these are the good ones that are good now, but these are the ones that have carried the torch. And this is Bayern Munich, Schalke. These are the big boys. These are the Chelseas and Man Uniteds of the Bundesliga. Who, and by the way, these Bundesliga teams, they hang with. When you look at the UEFA Champions League, Bayern's always there, man. They're always not, and I don't mean like in the tournament. I mean they're right there, and they always have 2 or 3 of the top guys in the world. They're not gonna have Messi. They're not gonna have Ronaldo, but they're gonna have some other guys that are just ridiculous.
And we've also seen Borussia Dortmund sort of take a step up into that elite class as well, into the European stages. They've made it just as tough on any other team, any English team, Spanish team in the Champions League. They've made it tough as well. So they're right up there in the elite, I'd say, with Bayern Munich as well.
So who's the star players this year? In the in the Bundesliga, who are the guys that we really have our eyes on?
Well, the 2 guys for me that stand out right off the bat are Robert Lewandowski from Bayern Munich. He leads the league, 25 goals. He's just on a mission this year. But another guy to watch out for, Timo Werner out of Red Bull Leipzig. Leipzig's a team that's sort of been on the rise for the last 2-3 years. They catch a lot of flack because they're one of the few teams that have a major corporate sponsor. They're not owned by the fans, or it's not publicly funded. They have a big time sponsor funding the project. But Leipzig's, they've made big strides. They're in the Champions League still, and they have Timo Werner, who's had 21 goals this year. So he's another guy that I think I'd want to watch out for.
So when we look at this weekend's games, the way the Bundesliga generally does it is a lot like the Premier League does it, where the bulk of their games are on one day, and then they kind of have their version of Monday Night Football, where they have a couple of other games that are on the off days. And I noticed, looking at the schedule, that Bayern was one of those games this week, where it was not on the big day, which is tomorrow morning for us.
Yeah.
And, like I said, we're doing this today because these games, by the time we do our show, will have started. So where's the money for tomorrow? Where are we going? Let's bet on some sports, man. We're finally betting on sports.
I've keyed in on 3 games for tomorrow. The Bayern Munich game. There's another game on Sunday. I'll touch on that tomorrow if that's all right. But
That's fine.
for tomorrow, one of the games I'm looking at is the relegation battle. I like Paderborn and a draw against FC Mainz, or sorry, Fortuna Dusseldorf. Two teams, bottom three of the standings. Paderborn, they're in last place. They've only got 4 wins out of 25 games this year, but on the road they've actually picked up points in 4 of their last 7 games. They've beaten Dusseldorf already, and if they're going to have any chance of survival from this relegation zone, where the bottom three are either relegated or have to be in a playoff to see if they're relegated, they're going to need to start picking up wins. And the teams that they've beaten are the teams that are right next to them in that relegation battle in Dusseldorf and Werder Bremen. So I think with no fans in the stands here, Dusseldorf's home advantage goes out the window. I think Paderborn beats them like they did earlier in the season. But you can also get the draw at plus 245, but I'll also put a little bit on Paderborn for the outright win at plus 215.
So a lot of sports, baseball, it's like the pitchers are go faster than the hitters are, are ahead of the pitchers, or, in football, it seems the offense might even be a little bit ahead of the defense sometimes, but even though it's like a grinding, in college football, it's more the defense is ahead of the offense. In soccer, coming off the long layoff, a little more close to the vest here, you think? Kind of like a first game of the season, closer
Yeah.
to the vest type game, more, methodical pace? Or do you think we're going to
Yeah.
see some just let's get out to a quick start and, open it up? Because I think soccer, I think what makes soccer exciting, and I think why it's so big around the world, is that when teams go down, they open it up, and I mean they really open it up, and then you see the spectacular saves of these goalies. You see these guys who are just, I don't know when the last time, and I can't tell you guys, running up and down a field like that for 90 minutes is no small feat. I know that NBA players, that people rarely take this into consideration, the running back and forth up and down the court. But these guys take a back seat to no one in that area. What do you think about the fitness levels here of these guys, coming off of the break?
Well, I mean, they have had time to sort of prepare a little bit, but it's like you said, there's going to be a bit of feeling out process early on. I could see some teams pressing for an early lead, but I think the majority of them are going to sort of sit back for the first 10, 15 minutes, let them get their legs underneath them. If an opportunity opens up, they'll take it. But I think this is all about sort of getting back into the rhythm of playing your regular soccer once every week or twice a week. I think from a betting standpoint, if there are games where you might want to bet on a bigger dog, this might be the time to do it. Catch a team on a layoff, but I think it's just going to be a feeling out process.
How about on the totals? Do you think we're going over or we're going under? I mean, how are the totals? How are the lines? Obviously, I'm not that familiar with the sport. You've gone over every game in detail. So, like, are the totals like what sometimes we see in baseball? Like, if DeGrom is pitching against Kershaw or something, you'll see a 6.5 on the total. Meanwhile, if it's Cashner versus Drew Pomerantz or something, you could see an 11.5. What are we looking at here? Like on these totals, is it just normal? Is it what we're normal, or do you think the books are trying to find their way as well?
No, I think they're pretty standard across the board. The majority of the lines I saw from what I was writing this week was around 2.5 or 3 goals a game, which is usually standard. You'll get your twos. I think 2.5 is sort of the median. But
It's the 5.5 NHL, 5.5, 6 NHL total is.
Yeah.
In baseball,
sort of like
it used to be 7.5. Now it's 8, 8.5.
Yeah. But no, I think the 2.5 and 3 across the board is what I've seen for the most part this weekend, and that seems pretty much right on because any of these games could go over. But I think a lot of them are going to be, like I said, that feeling out process. So we may lend ourselves to a lower scoring game for the most part.
All right, so who's the top plays for tomorrow?
I like Paderborn with a draw or an outright win. You can get the draw at plus 245 or plus 215. I also like Borussia Mönchengladbach at plus 127. And like I said, Red Bull Leipzig. You can get them at 2-0 or 3-1 at either plus 440 or plus 760. And Timo Werner is the first goal scorer at plus 285.
Well, speaking of bird cages, I see Rod Zawacki off camera saying he doesn't agree with some of this stuff. So we're going to bring him on along with Steve Monahan. I know that Steve probably doesn't have much of an opinion here on the soccer. But Rod, you got a bird cage for us here? I saw some head shaking going on there when Chris was reading his picks. We won't ask Rod for one pick. We'll just ask him for the straight bird cage. It's like getting my email for a day. I need a 3-team parlay lock. You're muted.
Muted.
There you go.
There we go. I muted myself. I like Dusseldorf to beat Paderborn. No way can I take the Paderborn there. The visiting team in this series is they've one win, one draw. Give me the Dusseldorf. I don't think that home field advantage with nobody in the stands is really going to make a whole lot of difference of where you're playing this soccer game. I think Dusseldorf's a way better team. Give me Dusseldorf there.
I have to disagree. I think they're the least talented side in that German league.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
They've got nobody.
So that's our discussion. So anyways, in the world of sports, like I said, we have pretty much no news, and no news is good news. Steve, little news here out of the New York Giants, an organization that I just love everything that happens here. I just think that New York Giants are the type of team that like they act like they're this, untouchable, like, on this pedestal type organization.
Organization, we do everything.
They think they
on a pedestal.
They think they're the St. Louis Cardinals, right? It's like they basically think they are the St. Louis Cardinals or the Yankees, right? But they're the same. These are the guys that like they step out of the car and they step on a rake and it hits them in the face. That's what these guys are. These are the guys that drafted Eli Apple in the first round.
I know. I was going to mention Eli, but
Daniel Jones.
You wake up to the news, right? They trade up to get DeAndre Baker. Not 2 drafts ago. Highly touted corner out of Georgia.
Super athlete. Super athlete at a high school. He was super talented as well.
And had a welcome to the NFL rookie season, I would say, but got better throughout the year.
Corner is one of the toughest positions to go straight, as a rookie. And
then you wake up this morning to the news that him and Quentin Dunbar, who's a corner, I guess on the Redskins now, who's on Seattle or something, and these 2 idiots, armed robbery of, it's ridiculous.
So so armed robbery? What are they stealing?
They stole watches and I think from a party or some sort of gathering. But they broke out guns. And they left, and it's armed robbery. It's a felony and multiple counts. So I don't know how they're getting out of that.
So we have UFC picks at Sports Chat Plays and at Pick Dogs, and we'll be doing UFC picks on tomorrow's show. So we've been doing the UFC picks for each of the things. We did UFC 249, and then we did Fight Night. By the way, the UFC with the numbers are the pay-per-view cards. The Fight Night cards are the ones you can get on ESPN Plus. Educational show here as well. I act like I knew this all along. I found this out on Wednesday. But so here, how much is Baker making?
Again with the rookie, the rookie contract.
Yeah, but the rookie contract. I know they're not making Steve Young rookie money. But at the same,
probably making a couple million a year.
Let's find out exactly what Baker's making.
Okay.
That he needs to steal a watch.
2 to 3. My guess would be 2 to 3 million.
It's like, dude, that's a Rolodex, not a Rolex. Come on. It's like I mean, this is.
But it sets the Giants back. They traded up to get him 2 drafts ago, right? And they solidified a need at corner, and now they got a glaring hole again. It's unbelievable.
So is he immediately waived? Is that what happens here?
I don't know. I mean, obviously the legal process has to unfold, but we shall see. But I would say the Giants would cut bait with him. Would be my guess at the appropriate time. And plus, it's such bad PR for them too.
All right, so here's the 30th pick.
I already got emails and calls from multiple Giant fans.
Oh boy! So 4 years at 10.525 plus. So this guy got a signing bonus of 5,675, and that's $5,675,000. 10% to the agent plus the Blake Snell taxes, right? So he's got his average yearly. His average yearly is $2,631,429. So 10% to the agent. So he's at 260. So he's still 240. Figure he's in the 40% tax bracket, ish, a little less now, and then, whatever it is. So even then, he's pulling down over $1 million take home. At the time of signing, so at the time when he signed, what he's taken in so far in salary is he took in $9,007,390. So
I can afford a Rolex on that type of a pay.
I'm just missing something here. I'm just absolutely missing something here.
My guess is that he's not the sharpest light bulb in the box of light bulbs.
Well, here's the beauty on the Giants on this one. If they do cut him, $7.588 million against the cap. Ouch. $5,196,000 next year in dead cap space, and the year after that they'll still be 2.325 into dead cap space. This is a bad story from top. This is a really bad one.
It is.
This is
no sugarcoating
it. This is how general managers get fired. Is basically on picks like this. That is really bad. So actually, his base salary, the poor guy's only making 22 years old. This guy is. His base is only $973,000. The signing bonus portion is $1,418,766. The cap hit, like I said, $2,392, but it's $7,588,000 in dead cap space here. We're talking.
And it also helps the NFL draft going forward. So when the teams interview players going forward, they can now put a question on the questionnaire. Do you foresee yourself getting committed? Doing an armed robbery within 2 years of us signing you? What are your thoughts on that? So you can't predict this, right? I'm being funny and facetious, of course, but you can't predict these character flaws. With all the Wonderlic testing you want to do. This is a perfect example of, you scratch your head. I mean, how are you supposed to foresee, you investing in this player in this ridiculous situation?
Well, I'll tell you who's having a bad day, and that's his agent, Andy Sims of Young Money APAA Sports. Having a real bad day. So he's taken in, actually, at this point, I was wrong. He's taken into pocket $6,170,000 is what he's taken in. Obviously, he needs a couple thousand extra on top of that. Maybe the Giants should open up the checkbooks. I know Emmitt Smith used to buy his offensive lineman Rolexes at the end of every season.
That's right.
Maybe Daniel Jones should be doing the same thing for his corners. I have no idea. Dunbar. What do we know about him?
He's been in the league longer, obviously, than DeAndre Baker. I think he played Seattle if I'm not mistaken, and I think they traded him to Washington. And
but he's not from Georgia, right, Dunbar?
I don't believe he.
These must have been high school friends.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a connection for them to be hanging together. Have the same interests, obviously.
Yeah, but he's got big money too. I mean, you're looking at Dunbar's numbers. So he went to Florida. That's I figured. I remember him from there.
Yeah.
So he's not quite in the in that realm that but he's still just is so it's in Seattle.
What? Oh, you're gonna get that.
Seattle, he made $3.4 million, and he makes only so in 2020 with Seattle as a free agent. So last year he only made $3.25 million. So the team made 2.9 the year before. He came in with the low rookie salary, $615. He made $1 million, $615, $3 million. He's got 4, 7. So he's only got a little over $10 million in career earnings. So Steve, I don't know how he's got to put food on the table for his family. It's once again we're just going to call it the Sprewell principle.
That's true.
So Rod, obviously going on with the Bundesliga this weekend, we got UFC coming up. Anything else we're going to be turning our attention to? Obviously NASCAR getting back into action. And
definitely be having a look at NASCAR and watching it. I like NASCAR, so some stuff for you tomorrow. We'll be covering NASCAR.
We'll be covering that as well. I try to keep everybody in the mix as to what we're doing here on the show, but some days some guys have more to talk about. Some days there's more in the news, some days there's more one thing or the other. But I think generally Rod gets his licks in. So if we slight him a little bit one day, I'm sure he'll get us. Yep, the bulky mic is not gone. It's right here. It's disconnected. It's actually a super nice mic. We did this. I switched to a overhead mic. So this is the comment that we got, and then this. Let's see. Well, that didn't work. Okay. I have so many things. It's kind of like I have. Oh, that was really bad. That was real bad. All right. That was very bad. I have this tiny little desk here. It's like I'm waiting on everything here in Hawaii you gotta wait for. So this is the camera that I did the show on, but here's the mic that I'm using now. So you could see that I have it like on a boom arm. And then, of course, they give you the adapter that they give you. It's one that fits on top of a camera. So I had to order one of these, and that's going to be another week. But so I took a different thing right here that holds the mic up, and I used painter's tape, whatever it takes to make it work. But you can see that I got a shotgun mic. It has like one of those foam sleeves that goes over if you want to use it outside and stuff. But this way I can keep it out of the screen, and it points kind of at my face as opposed to the other one that was in the face. But let's see what we got. Anyways, we will go back. Oh, that we didn't want to do. And we'll mix it up a little bit. There we go. Anyways, Chris, what do we got for the sim picks? But I always like to talk about the studio updates. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm working on now, and I think the other guys, you'll start to see theirs change as well as we go forward. But Chris, what do we got as far as sim picks are going on?
Yesterday, Minnesota pushed against Detroit.
Push?
It was a -10. Minnesota won 22-12.
12. Safety?
The Bears beat the Packers outright.
Safety or 4 field goals? On the 12.
I think 4 field goals.
Bears
beat the Packers outright. The Niners blew out the Rams. And the Cardinals covered against the Seahawks.
Solid 2-2 over here.
3-0 and a push.
Oh, 2. Oh, actually, I was 1-2 and 1. All right, that's okay.
3-0 and a push.
Hey, I shot 37 on the back of Pukalani. You can't have everything.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'd probably shoot like a 60 or something.
Pukalani's beast, man. It is. I mean, if you shoot 37 on the back of Pukalani, you're dealing. I mean, you're serious. I was in a zone.
You're throwing some darts.
I was throwing some darts, man, because I'll tell you, most of those holes I can't even reach them in 2 shots. So it's like I'm throwing 9 irons at the stick, my 3rd shot just to have a par putt.
I'll have to call in on Sunday from the golf course. I'm playing for the first time on Sunday morning.
Oh, we'd have to have someone hold the camera. We'll have to get some video action.
Yeah, I'll do it as Skype on the phone.
We did it. We did a video. I did a video from the golf course, and I was on it was halftime of the Eagles-Cowboys game on Sunday Night Football, and I happened to be on a par 3, and we did shots of all of the guys in my group, and I hit. We all because we play dollar greenies and dollar birdies and mongoose. Polies, whatever. Let's just say the cash registers are open out on the golf course. It's like we're doing it, and I put one. I think on that video, I put one about 8 feet from the stick, and my friend Chris put one in about this close. He has like 9 hole-in-ones. He's like one of those guys that it's like. He's like probably never played tennis in his life, but you can say, "Hey, let's play tennis," and he'll just slaughter you. He's just like one of those guys, he's just really good at everything, But kind of like Vita Blue, just doesn't matter. It's like he's good at everything. All right, Chris, what do we got today? What are we gonna get our ass kicked by the computer here on these sim picks? I really can't wait till we eliminate the sim picks. This is one thing that the virus, like certain things from the virus. This virus environment are going to stick. Certain things are going to go. Man, let's hope that this is one of those things that goes, right?
Hell yeah.
I hate syntax.
12 Eastern. Titans -4.5 at home against the Jaguars.
Titans what? Minus what?
-4.5 against the Jaguars.
I'll go Titans.
Titans for me.
Jaguars money.
Jags money line for Chris. I'll go Titans. Rod?
4.5. Yikes. I gotta go take Jags +4.5. I see a 3.
Nick Foles, quarterback there for the Jags?
Should be.
This is a guy that probably rates way better than he did on the field, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What, he 2 games for the Jags last year before he broke his ankle or collarbone?
I think he's a 71 overall.
They should have a team like any guy that's has missed more than 8. Any guy that's missed more than 10 games over the last 2 years. They should put them all on one team and just see what you end up with at the end of the season. Take bets on what the starting lineup is going to be at the end of the year. Sean Lee, Foles, Wentz. It could be Foles and Wentz again.
Not bad.
The tandem.
Okay, 3 Eastern. Texans -3.
Gerald McCoy. Who is it?
Texans -3 at home against the Colts.
Texans.
I'm gonna take the Colts money line.
I'll go Colts.
Is Andrew Luck on that Colts team? Is this the pre-retirement?
No, it's Brissett.
Oh,
Brissett.
I'll take the other team. Who's the other team?
I'll take the Texans.
Yeah, me too. Lamar Miller.
7 Eastern. Chargers -2.5 at the Broncos.
Broncos money line.
Broncos.
Chargers -2.5.
Chargers for me.
And 10 Eastern. Chiefs -10.5 at home against the Raiders.
Chiefs for me.
Chiefs.
I like the Raiders.
Yeah, I like the way you give it Oakland plus 10.5.
I like the way Chris likes to call them on our website over at Sports Chat when he covers these games. He calls them the Las Vegas Oakland Raiders, and it's like the whole idea is to get the titles like kind of as short and concise as possible. So Chris is like, just let's stick in more words because Google will only show like X amount of words. You know, like when you ever Google and it's like you look at it and it's like dot 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 because it doesn't pick that up. So Chris like pushes it out so we don't have NFL pick in the title, which is really the only thing of any value in the sim pick is those two words. Just push it to the side. Chris doesn't really
get him out of here. You don't need him.
I'm here and I'm in my Speedo.
It's like you were there when I was writing them.
Well, anyways, yeah, we'd like to wish condolences to my water pick. My wife put the curling iron accidentally on top of the water pick, little hose, and yeah. It had a good run. Had a good run. People like, the last few years, people I hadn't seen in a while, they always say, man, you look different. What's going on or whatever? You look different. What is it? And I always tell them I stopped flossing, and I always get that like shocked look. It's like went to the water pick. Went to the water pick.
You're burying the water pick in the backyard with your other appliances.
I love my water pick, man. I'm a popcorn eater, right? So it's like if you're a popcorn eater, you got a choice. Either you're a heavy flosser or you're in the water pick world. And it's like I got a water pick. I have a travel water pick. I just love the damn thing.
I think
everyone's got something. Everyone's got something, man. It's like there are a lot worse problems you could have than having a water pick addiction.
I think if it's a water pick, it's only appropriate to have a burial at sea or a burial in the ocean.
No way, man. Yeah. You can't pollute the ocean.
I know.
Water pick. It's plastic.
Get the plank, you put it on the end of it, and then it slides.
They'll string you up here, man. They'll crucify you. They'll put you in the newspaper. They got nothing else here. You're talking about a place 7 minutes in. Our lead story was, a year ago was, I posted this on my Facebook page. Our 7 minutes into the newscast, the story was that someone was going into Foodland and eating cookies out of the box and putting the box back on the shelf. Seriously.
Was that Jameis Winston, perchance?
Jameis just forgot to pay. I mean, he didn't intentionally do anything. He forgot to pay.
It was sampling.
Well, anyways, I was hoping that by now we would have news on Major League Baseball, NBA, or NHL. But sometimes no news is good news. And this might be the case because those baseball players, if it's out in the news, how nasty it is and everything. And I think with that Blake Snell comments, could have put the gag order on things. And I think sometimes a guy making a statement like that and kind of sounding that stupid and everybody else now has to deal with this, it actually might push things in the right direction, But anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. We're going to continue to roll along. Tomorrow we got UFC picks. We're going to have more Bundesliga. Hopefully we're going to have some exciting sports news, and hopefully it's not about Baker and Dunbar. These guys, I mean, over 20 million combined, and we got to see if somehow we can get an itemized list of exactly what these guys. I got to see this. I mean,
yeah.
Here you go. We'll end this show. Here's a birdcage for you. Bundesliga birdcage. I'm going to take Dartmouth. The Bull Russian Dartmouth money line, Dusseldorf money line, and RB Leipzig money line. Give me about plus 300. Not bad.
Sounds like some short prices there on the on the birdcage. Basically.
Yep.
We like our bird cages in the plus 945 and up range, but we'll take it. Anyways,
it's tough to find those odds in soccer when you got a lot of favorites.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Lopsided.
All right, we'll see everyone tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. And like I said, we're working on this. It's work in progress. So I think the progress is actually going pretty well. So hopefully we'll see everything pick up soon. I hate sim games. Have a great day.